McCall who gets the catch. He's got patrol.
From White Bear Lake High School, it's Monday night basketball on an unseasonably warm March evening. Hi, everybody. On behalf of SCC Sports, I'm Patrick Lilia. The Stillwater Ponies and the White Bear Lake Bears in a 4 quadruple A matchup tonight. Both teams looking to improve their resume heading into the end of the regular season, just a short ways away. Starting lineups about to be introduced, starting with the Kanye Rahim at point guard for the Bears. Tyler Tompkins opposing for the Ponies in the starting position. So the rematch of a game a little over a month ago in Stillwater, won by the Bears in a thriller, 68-66. Take a look at the team profiles. White Bear Lake, see a very even profile there with 59 points a game, 58 given up, so used to some very tight games are the White Bear Lake Bears. Stillwater, a little bit of a tougher season, giving up 66 points a game, only won 2 regular season games coming in. Leading scorers, Shikanjansky, 22.8. Tompkins and the older Shikanjansky, that'd be Sam, 7.5 points a game. We're excited to see that matchup tonight with Janicki and Shikanjansky. Shikanjansky having an amazing season so far, averaging nearly 23 points a game. As we are set for tip-off. Will Forsyth will take the opening chip against Sam Shikanjansky at center court. We are underway with Stillwater controlling the opening possession off Nicholas Cohn. Carried into the front court by Max Shikanjansky, sent over toward the near side corner for Cohn. Cohn trying to get it down low for Tyler Tompkins. He's able to find Shikanjansky on the drive, and he's got an early layup. Max Shikanjansky on the first possession of the game, putting the Ponies ahead 2-0 as Rahim works it back into the front court for the Bears. We'll get to your starters momentarily when we had a whistle. So Rahim with it in the near side, gets it off for the 3, and circles around and goes down for Jack Misgan. So the Bears have an early lead. 40 seconds into the game, it's 3-2 White Bear Lake. Shikanjansky carries it back into the front court. Now back at the timeline, Tompkins. Tompkins works it back over to Cohn on the near side. Cohn guarded by Janicki. Back out to Max Shikanjansky as he'll give off for Tompkins. Tompkins works it over toward Andrew Gustafson. Gustafson works it back into the near corner. Got a bad pass trying to go back, but Shikanjansky able to hold. Jansky thought about the drive, kicked it back out of the top of the circle, left it for Cone. Jansky guarded near the timeline as he drops it back in ahead of Lockwood. Jansky will size up the three, and that spins down. Max Jansky already with 5 points. It's 5-3 Stillwater. Raheem will work it into the front court for White Bear Lake. Last meeting, that thriller won by White Bear Lake and Stillwater. As Michigan will launch another quick three, with this one off the mark, and will go over to the Ponies. Pony starters tonight: Andrew Gustafson, Tyler Tompkins, Max Jansky, Nicholas Cone, and Sam Jansky. Max, just a sophomore, already doing some impressive things. Already has 5 points in the game for the Ponies so far tonight. Gustafson back to Jansky, who's guarded by Janicki. Got screened as Jansky on the drive, put the layoff off the side of the backboard, but the Ponies able to come up with the offensive rebound and then unable to finish with Sam Jansky. Bears back into the front court with Janicki. Janicki leaves it off for Lockwood, dropping it down for the turnaround layup from Forsyth. Isn't there. Quickly back into the front court from the Ponies as we'll get our first foul. As Tompkins is trying to drive to the hoop. Foul will go on Lockwood. That's his first, team's first. At the line to shoot two will be Tompkins. And he gets the first. Tompkins gets both free throws to go down. It's 7-3 Stillwater with 15:41 to go in the first half. Raheem with it in the front court, gets it down low for Lockwood. Reverse layup, no, and the rebound gathered in by Sam Jansky as he leaves off for Max. Max carrying it into the front court, guarded by Raheem. Sam with it, dropping it off for Max. Max Jansky guarded well by Raheem. Jansky able to kick it back out as he works with Tompkins. Tompkins back to Max Jansky. Tries to drop it down low, getting it down for Cone. He's able to wrestle it out of there, and then Gustafson comes away with it. Gustafson leaves off for Tompkins. Tompkins for Max Jansky. Starts the drive, guarded well by Raheem. Spins his way through the lane in the finish. 7 points in the early going for Max Jansky. A nice spin move to get around Kanye Raheem and the finish. 9-3 Stillwater, 14:43 to go in the first half. Raheem leaves off for Michigan. Michigan on the drive gets the finish. So Michigan with all 5 of the early Bears points. 9-5 Stillwater, 14:30 to go in the first half. Max Jansky on the drive, kicks it out to Tompkins for 3, and he drains it. Tyler Tompkins with a 3. He has 5 points at 12-5 Stillwater in the early going. Raheem into the front court. Raheem leaves off for Max Steiner just into the game. Steiner trying to set up Michigan. The floater won't go for Raheem, and the rebound comes out to number 21 for the Ponies, Cone. Cone leaves off for Jansky. Jansky gets the screen. He'll drive, and a nice play, but the foul called as Steiner went for the block. Well, they're going to say, ball just out of bounds. My apologies there. Raheem works into the front court. It's 12-5 Stillwater in the early going. Jansky with 7, Tyler Tompkins with 5. Jack Michigan has all 5 for White Bear Lake in the early going. There's Janicki backing his way out. That's up Lockwood. Lockwood at the top of the circle. Leaves it for Michigan. Michigan trying to drive. He's forced back out. Raheem will take the 3 from the far side and all net. Kanye Raheem with a 3. It's 12-8 with 13:10 to go in the first half. Ponies back in the front court. Sam Shikanjansky sized up by Forsyth. Wheelers off for the nice drive and the finish from Nicholas Cone. Cone working his way through the lane on the pick and roll. And it's 14-8 Stillwater. Lockwood drops it into the far corner. Trying to get it down low, might have been a miscommunication. Ball goes over to the Ponies. Brady Hannigan, the head coach of the Ponies. Max Shikanjansky drops it, now takes it back at the top of the key as he's guarded by Janicki, and then steal by Janicki. Janicki works his way back into the front court with Shikanjansky guarding him. Janicki gets the screen from Steiner, drops it back over to Miskin. Miskin driving the baseline, kicks it back to Steiner. Steiner stripped to the ball, able to keep it in. As Janicki trips, might be a foul against Stillwater. Foul will go against Max Shikanjansky. That's his first. That's the first team foul on the Ponies. That's a quick round out your White Bear Lake starters for tonight. Raheem, Lockwood, Janicki, Miskin, and Forsyth. 12:05 to play in the first half. Stillwater 14, White Bear Lake 8. The inbound to Steiner. Steiner over to Miskin. Miskin sets up Lockwood for three, and he got it. Alex Lockwood with a three. That makes it 14-11 Stillwater. We're just past the 6-minute mark of the first half. 14-11, Ponies leading. Gustafson driving the lane, drops it off for Shikanjansky, who gets it off glass. Shikanjansky with 9. Lockwood, nice drop down to Steiner, who finishes. Max Steiner with the nice assist from Lockwood. Timeout taken here by the Ponies. 11:22 to play in the first half. Had a good, hard, fast action here in the early going. We'll take a look at the Suburban East standings going into tonight's game. Mounds View on top with Woodbury in hot pursuit. Creighton, Durham Hall, Forest Lake, East Ridge, and Park, and then you see White Bear Lake, Roseville, Stillwater, and Irondale. Looking to improve their seeding before we head into the sectional tournaments. We're live from White Bear Lake High School tonight. Scored 16-13 in favor of Stillwater senior night here at White Bear Lake campus. Elliott, Brune, and Raheem, those being honored along with Forsyth, McCray, and Steiner. We come out of the timeout with the Ponies inbounding, leading 16-13. Worked into the front court by Max Shikanjansky, leaves off for Tompkins. Gustafson, back to Sam Shikanjansky. Into the game for the first time for the Ponies is Tyler Smith. A foul here will go against Lockwood. That'll be his second. Gustafson will inbound with Ben Brune also checking into the game. And Brock Togner also now checking in for the first time for White Bear Lake. 16-13 Stillwater, 11:01 to play in the first half. Inbound to Max Shikanjansky in the backcourt as he's watched by Janicki. Sam Shikanjansky at the top of the circle. He leaves off for Tompkins. Tompkins gets it off to Max Shikanjansky. He tries to work his way around, drops it through the lane. Here's Tompkins on the drive, stripped to the ball. It'll go over to White Bear Lake. 10:41 to play in the first half. 16-13 Stillwater. Inbound to Raheem. Guarded by Max Chicken-Jansky. Team over to Janicki. Shot from the free throw line. Rolls around and goes down. First two for Jack Janicki. That makes it a 1-point game at 16-15. Max Chicken-Jansky back in the front court. Smith got it off to Tompkins. Chicken-Jansky gets the screen, takes the three and drains it. Chicken-Jansky with 12. Not even 8 minutes into the game, it's 19-15 Stillwater. Driving the baseline for the Bears was Togner. Then he stepped out of bounds, so it'll go over to the Ponies. 9:57 to play in the first half. Chicken-Jansky working his way into the front court. Now accelerates, drops it off for the short-range jumper that goes down for Anthony Ingram. Timeout will be taken by White Bear Lake. It's 21-15 Stillwater. .9:44 to play in the first half. The Ponies leading 21-15, already 12 points for Max Chicken-Jansky. We talked about his impressive numbers coming into the game. His high already on the season was 49 against Cretin-Durham Hall, a game, though, that the Ponies came up short, 83-81. For the Bears, Janicki had 39 in that win over Stillwater back on February 2nd. We'll take a look at the past 10 meetings. White Bear Lake having won 8 out of the 10 previous meetings. A lot of close games you can see on that chart, though. I mean, the one earlier this season. Last one that Stillwater won, just a 5-point game back in December of 2017. Quite a few, we said, close games on there. We're ready to resume action. Raheem takes the inbound. He carries into the front court. Raheem sets up Brune, now taking it back is Raheem. Trying to get it down low as it goes off the hands of Forsyth and back over to the Ponies. 2 team fouls for White Bear Lake, just 1 for Stillwater. Max Chicken-Jansky carries into the front court. Ingram. Bounce pass down low for Chicken-Jansky in the finish. That was pretty as well. 14 now for Max Chicken-Jansky. Back into the front court for White Bear Lake is Brune. Brune trying to drive. He gets tied up, kicks it back out to Raheem. Raheem working his way through the lane. Off balance floater, no. Rebound still loose, and we will keep it at the Bears' end. 8:59 to play in the first half. 23-15 Stillwater. Brune inbounds to Forsyth. Raheem spins, able to get it to go. So Raheem now with 5 for the Bears. 23-17 Stillwater. Chicken-Jansky setting up the play. He'll begin his drive. He'll go right to the bucket and gets the friendly bounce. 14 for Max Chicken-Jansky. Raheem will work it into the front court for the Bears. He gives off for Brune. Back to Misgan at the top of the key. Lives off for Raheem. Raheem starts the drive, kicks it out. Able to hold on to that one was Togner. Loose ball comes back to Raheem. Raheem guarded by Tompkins. Togner back with it, and then the ball knocked loose. Turnover at the Pony player then trips. That was Sam Chicken-Jansky who took that one up court. Ball will go back over to the Bears with 8:02 to play in the first half. Raheem works it into the front court. Past the 10-minute mark of the opening half. It's 25-17 Stillwater. Drive by Brune goes down. First two for Ben Brune. Chicken-Jansky at the other end. Fended off as he started to drive the baseline to kick it over to Smith. Smith from the free throw line back to Cone. Cone setting up Gustafson. Chicken-Jansky. He'll start his drive through the lane. He spins in a nice block. That was rejected from just inside the free throw line by Brune, but he's able to get it back. Can't finish. Gets his own rebound and then is able to put it home. Brune had the nice block, but Chicken-Jansky able to make the most of it on the third chance. It's 27-19 Stillwater. Togner. Raheem at the top of the key. He fended off well, off balance shot, traveled. The Bears have struggled with turnovers a little bit here as this first half has gone along. Janicki back into the game with 6:55 to play in the first half, a 27-19 lead for the Ponies. Chicken-Jansky guarded by Janicki. Leaves off for Tompkins. Ingram at the top of the circle. Gets it down low for Smith. Smith, baseline drive, had it taken away as he was trying to get it out. Togner driving it back the other way. Trying to set up down low with Forsyth, but he's fouled before the shot. First on Tony Ingram for the Ponies. That's the second team foul. Both teams, so it's only 2 fouls, so good job by both teams to stay out of foul trouble in the early going. Drop for the corner 3 from Lockwood. It's not there, and the rebound for Chicken-Jansky. Chicken-Jansky tried to drive through the lane, lost the ball, but he's able to recover as he drops it back to the Tompkins. Blocked, but a foul. First on Will Forsyth. No, well, my apology, that'll send Cone to the line to shoot a pair. He hits the first, that makes it 28-19. Doesn't get the second, and the rebound to Janicki. Janicki working it into the front court, where he's guarded by Tompkins. Janicki trying to work around Tompkins to settle for the long jumper off the front rim. Tompkins comes away with the rebound. Tompkins guarded by Lockwood. Good defense from Lockwood as it's played back over towards Chicken-Jansky on the near side. Upping it down low for Sam Chicken-Jansky, and he took steps. Turnover goes over to the Bears with 5:48 to go in the first half. 28-19 Stillwater. Lockwood inbounds to Misgan. Misgan and Raheem leading the Bears with 5 apiece. Misgan over to Raheem, back to Misgan. Misgan, though, defended by Chicken-Jansky, has to work it back out. Raheem over in the near corner. Dropping it down to Janicki. Janicki turnaround J is off the mark, and the rebound for Max Chicken-Jansky. Sam at the top of the key with it. Sam then driving the perimeter. Leaves off for Smith, guarded nicely by Raheem. Max Chicken-Jansky driving the lane is fouled. First on Jack Misgan, 4th team foul for the Bears. William Swanson checks in for the Ponies for the first time. Report the 5-minute mark of the first half. Tompkins guarded by Raheem. Gives it to Max Chicken-Jansky. Chicken-Jansky guarded nicely, but he's able to get the cross-court pass off to Swanson. He gets it down to Max Chicken-Jansky, who's fouled. doesn't get the bucket to go, but he'll shoot a pair. Sam Shikanjansky, the older of the brothers, he's a senior, averaging 7.5 points a game. As he sends the first off the back iron, 4:56 to go in the first half. Doesn't get the second. That makes it a 10-point lead for the Ponies with under 5 minutes to play in the half. It's Rahim inbounds to Miskin. Miskin in the front court, gives off to Lockwood. Rahim trying to drive his way around. Max Shikanjansky goes to the offhand, can't get it to go, and the rebound, Sam Shikanjansky. Worked into the front court by Swanson. Cone high in the perimeter. That's a Max Shikanjansky, gets it down low to Sam, who's able to get the finish. 3 points for Sam Shikanjansky. It's a nice finish from the assist from his brother Max. It's 31-19, Ponies leading it. Lockwood gonna work his way through. Long jumper off the mark for Steiner. Shikanjansky in the front court, driving the lane. Reverse, no, but took steps. Miskin carries into the front court off the inbound. 3:50 to play in the first half. It's 31-19, Ponies leading it. Lockwood to Rahim. Rahim will take the long three, gets it to go. Kanye Rahim with 8, including that pretty long distance three there. 31-22, Ponies leading. 3.5 minutes to play in the first half. It's Cone. That's up Swanson, who's guarded by Rahim. Baseline drive for Cone. He drops it off in the lane. Ball is loose. Bears able to come away with the steal. Rahim quickly into the front court. Rahim with the layup and the foul. Kanye Rahim with the chance for the and one. First foul on William Swanson for the Ponies. Just the third team foul for the Ponies in the first half. Rahim finishes the and one. He has 9. 31-25, Ponies leading. Max Shikanjansky guarded by Janicki as he works it into the front court. Cone sets up Sam Shikanjansky. He's guarded by Steiner. Leaves it back off for Cone. Long jumper, might have been a 2 for Tompkins, no, and the rebound kicks out. Rahim able to gain control of it. Lockwood finding Miskin on the back door. Miskin now with 7. That's a 4-point game. 8-0 run for the Bears to trim that 31-19 deficit down to 4. Sam Shikanjansky with it, gives off to Max. Janicki trying to get the hand in his face, and Shikanjansky gets it to go anyway. 18 for Max Shikanjansky here in the first half. Miskin gets it off to Rahim. Lockwood driving the perimeter. Makes his drive through the lane, and a foul. It'll go on Stillwater. That'll be the second on Swanson. Fourth team foul for the Ponies. (33-27). Stillwater leading here with 2:07 to go in the first half. Miskin looking to inbound. He gets it into Janicki. Janicki guarded well by Tompkins. Janicki Off-balance shot is off the mark. Have a foul against the Bears anyway. They'll go on Janicki, that's his first. 16 fouls for the Bears, 4 for Stillwater. 2 minutes to go in the first half. Jansky into the front court as it's stripped away. That's Swanson. He's able to kick it back out to Cone. As Tompkins on the drive, but a foul before that. Be the third on Lockwood, and that puts the Ponies into the bonus as Tompkins will shoot the 1-and-1. Tompkins' first was off the front iron, and Raheem comes away with the rebound. Raheem over to Mizgin. And set up Janicki, but that's defended well by Tompkins. 3 for Mizgin off the mark. And it'll go over to the Ponies. Andrew Gustafson back in for the Ponies with 1:31 to play in the first half. Inbound to Tompkins. Max Jansky at the top of the key. 3 from Cone, and he got it. Nick Kane with 5 here in the first half. With that 3 there, that makes it a 9-point game once again. So we come to the 1-minute mark of the first half. Nice pass down low for Mizgin, and he's able to finish. Raheem rifled that one in there. Mizgin able to come up with the bucket. Mizgin with 9. He and Raheem leading with 9 apiece for the Bears. Tompkins in the front court. From Sam Jansky. Jansky trying to throw on the screen as Tompkins drives and gets the finish. Tyler Tompkins with 7. Mizgin quickly into the front court as we approach 30 seconds to play. Brune trying to set up Raheem for 3. Raheem will take the contested 3. It's a little bit off the mark. Offensive rebound for Brune. Drops it for Steiner. Steiner can't get the finish either. Another offensive rebound for Brune as we'll get a whistle. First on Andrew Gustafson for the Ponies. 5 team fouls in the first half now for Stillwater. So they still have a couple fouls to give. Inbound to Raheem as he's able to gather that tough one in. 15 seconds to go in the half. Raheem sizing things up, leaves off for Mizgin, down to 10. Steiner. Hitting it for Mizgin for 3 off the front arm, no good. Mizgin off the offensive rebound, no, and that'll be the end of the first half. Great play by Steiner to give Mizgin another chance at the 3, but the second one was off the mark as well. We've reached halftime. Max Jansky leading all scorers with 18. Raheem and Mizgin with 9 apiece for the Bears. It's 38-29 Stillwater at halftime. You're watching SCC Sports coverage of boys basketball.
Cheru has no choice. She and millions like her walk miles a day for dirty water. But together, we can end their walk by providing clean water close by. Instead of spending hours walking to get water that makes them sick, girls can be in a classroom and moms will gain back time to care for their families. Sons and daughters can grow up strong, finally free of sicknesses. It's true. When you just add water, you change a life. Learn more at worldvision.org.
Let's roll. Wait, what's that?
A hawk feather?
That's right, baby.
His job is important.
This is what matters most.
I had to leave my parents. I had to move schools. I don't know anyone here. Everything keeps changing. Why is this happening to me? I'm sure glad you're here.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you. Learn how you can help at casaforchildren.org.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel angry or depressed most of the time? Do you feel neglected or unloved?
Do you feel you attract people who tend to be compulsive or abusive?
Do you have money problems because of someone else's drinking?
Are you afraid or embarrassed to bring your friends home?
Do you feel that if the drinker loved you, she or he would stop drinking?
If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
More than half of all adults have a family history of alcoholism.
Not everyone trapped by alcohol is an alcoholic.
Families and friends are suffering too. Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
Welcome you back to White Bear Lake High School, 38-29. Stillwater leading White Bear Lake after the first half. Max Chickenjansky with 18 for the Ponies in that first half. Kanye Rahim and Jack Mizgin with 9 apiece to lead the Bears. Aggressive shooting first half for both teams. We look at some of the highlights. You see Mizgin with the 3. 3 of his 9 coming on that one hoop. Max Chickenjansky with the nice assist there. Talked about his shooting proficiency a lot in the first half, but he got the nice assist to Tompkins on that bucket. Mizgin setting up Rahim for the long 3. Rahim scoring 3 of his 9 on that bucket as well. Mizgin with another 3. Chickenjansky with a very long 3 there. We saw Chickenjansky do just about everything in that first half. With a drive through the lane there, got the friendly bounce. Shooting and setting up teammates for easy buckets as well, with Mizgin back at the other end with the nice finish. Chickenjansky, the off-balance J. White Bear Lake in the second half is going to have to figure out how to get Janicki going. Janicki had a very quiet first half for the Bears with only 2 points. They trailed by 9 here with about 5.5 minutes before we will be able to resume action. 38-29, Stillwater leading it after the first half. Chickenjansky with those 18. Rahim and Mizgin with 9 apiece for the Bears. Expect another exciting one tonight between these two after the thriller they had earlier this year in Stillwater. Thanks for tuning in tonight on SCC Sports, Channel 19. On behalf of our entire crew on site tonight at White Bear Lake High School, I'm Patrick Lilia. We'll be back with your second half shortly. Stillwater 38, White Bear Lake 29. Stay with us.
Wash your hands. Scrub them while you sing this song. Wash. Rub your hands and fingers and the places in between. Using soap and water makes your blood so clean. Wash your hands.
Taking care of yourself is also taking care of others. We are all in this together.
After being diagnosed with Parkinson's disease and losing her job due to treatment, Liz received a housing voucher, but was denied housing when she tried to use it.
It was shocking to me that people discriminated against you for the type of income you were utilizing to pay your rent.
Do you use non-wage income such as disability benefits or Section 8 vouchers to pay for housing? A new law in New York State makes it illegal to be denied housing based on your source of income. If you suspect discrimination, visit endincomebiasny.com.
Grandma, when did people start using seatbelts?
Sweetheart, I'm pretty sure seatbelts have been around in most cars for more than 40 years.
Do seatbelts really save lives?
Yes, they certainly do. I just read that seatbelts save as many as 15,000 lives a year.
If my mommy and daddy had been wearing their seatbelts, would they have lived?
Hi, I'm Anne Margaret. I went to Vietnam to entertain the troops in 1966 and 1968. My guys, my gentlemen, if you lived through the Vietnam War era, you know the impact that the war had. But today, we are in danger of history being lost. Current generations know very little about the war or the people who served. As more of our Vietnam vets pass away each day, their stories are being lost to history. Together, we can change that. The Vietnam Veterans Memorial Fund is the organization that built the wall. It works to ensure that future generations will understand the war's impact. Let's help keep the promise that the wall was built on. Never forget. Visit vvmf.org to find out how you can get involved.
We welcome you back inside White Bear Lake High School. 38-29, Stillwater leading after the first half. 18 from Max Chicken-Jansky leading all scorers. Tanya Rahim and Jack Misgan with 9 apiece for the Bears to lead the scoring for the home White Bear Lake Bears. On behalf of all of our crew, thank you so much for tuning in tonight here on Channel 19 on SCC Sports. About a minute to go before the start of the second half. A little bit about Bears are going to have to get Jack Janicki going in a very quiet first half, just 2 points. Misgan there with the 9. Doing a couple of long-range threes. We'll take a look at some standings from around the section. Woodbury leading the way. Section play 6-0, 12-3 overall record. Cretan Durham Hall right behind them, but a few extra losses in section that could harm their seeding. East Ridge, Tartan, White Bear Lake, and Stillwater you see down at the bottom. We'll get set to start the second half from White Bear Lake High School. 38-29, the Ponies leading after one half. Alex Lockwood, the only player in foul trouble. He picked up 3 in that first half for White Bear Lake. Something to keep an eye on as the second half progresses. Janicki will inbound to get the second half going. Officials and coaches giving some last-second instructions, and the second half underway with the inbound to Rahim. Rahim carries into the front court. Lockwood getting it down low for Number 32, Forsyth. Forsyth trying to drive, drops it back out to Raheem. Lockwood sets up Janicki at the free throw line. Janicki getting it down low, and the nice finish for Forsyth. Will Forsyth on the score sheet for the first time. He has 2. 38-31 Stillwater, 30 seconds into the second half. Max Chikanjansky into the front court, gives off to Sam. Miscommunication about where Tompkins was going to be, and a early turnover for the Ponies. Michigan back off the inbound. All 5 starters for both teams back on the court as we begin the second half. Raheem leaves off for Lockwood. Michigan over on the near side. Back to Janicki. Janicki will take the pull-up jumper and hits it. See if that gets Janicki going. He has 4. 38-33. Bears come out and trim the deficit to 5 here in the early going in the second half. Sam Chikanjansky at the top of the key. Down to Kane. Kane gives off for Tompkins. Tompkins trying to go back to Kane. It's off his hands. Ball is still loose. And able to be saved to Max Chikanjansky as then he lost it trying to drive, and Janicki comes away with it and then stripped right back, comes back to Chikanjansky with the finish. An unreal sequence of events there. Looks like about 3 different players had that ball, and nope, they didn't have it. And Chikanjansky able to come away with the bucket, and he has 20. And Lockwood then picks up a technical foul. That's his 4th overall. Lockwood picks up his 4th early in the second half as Tompkins will shoot the free throw. Tompkins hits the first technical free throw. Just a tough break for the Bears and for Lockwood. The second one rolls around and goes down for Tompkins, who now has 9. 42-33. As Bruin will come in for Lockwood, who sits with the 4 fouls. Inbound to Max Chikanjansky in his backcourt. Janicki able to force him to drive back down, then makes a steal. Janicki at the other end with the finish. So Janicki has come out in the second half, picks up a couple of early buckets. Looking to turn things around from that slow first half, had just 2. He's already doubled that here in the first 2 minutes of the second half. Chikanjansky being guarded by Forsyth. Back to Tompkins. Tompkins guarded by Raheem. Outlets to Chikanjansky. Back to Ingram. Ingram leaves it for Gustafson. Gustafson forced back, though, by Mizgin as he gives it back off to Tompkins. Tompkins guarded by Raheem, trying to drive the lane as it's rejected out of there nicely by Forsyth. Raheem came up with the rebound. Bruin finding Raheem on the drive. Didn't get it, but he's fouled. And the second foul on Gustafson. Raheem will go to the line to shoot a pair. 15:27 to play in the second half. It's 42-35. The Ponies with the lead. First one is good. For the senior guard, Kanye Raheem. See the replay with that nice pass from Bruin trying to set up Raheem. It didn't go, but he makes both free throws at the 5-point game. Once again at 42-37, Raheem now with 11. That leads the Bears. Into the front court is Kane. He's stripped trying to drive to the bucket by Forsyth. We'll say it was last off of Kane. It'll go over to the Bears. 15:18 to play in the second half. 42-37 Stillwater. Raheem into the front court. Guarded by Chikanjansky as he leaves off for Bruin. Bruin back over to Raheem. Raheem gets it down low for Janicki. Janicki thought about the shot and then traveled. He regained possession of the ball. With Janicki a little bit irked about how that ended. Inbound to Max Chicken-Jansky. 3 minutes gone by here in the second half. Chicken-Jansky leading all scorers with 20. Tompkins driving, trying to drop it down low, and then it goes out of bounds. He's trying to get it to Sam Chicken-Jansky. A nice little physical check by Max Steiner, just enough to not get the official's attention. Excuse me, that was Forsyth on the little physical bump, just enough to send that ball out of bounds. Raheem back into the front court. Gets a screen from Forsyth. That's a Bruin. Bruin driving the baseline, dropping it back, but it can't be handled by Forsyth. Back into the front court is Chicken-Jansky. He'll take it back from Tompkins, and he'll take the three, which is off the mark. Rebound Raheem. 42-37, Stillwater leading it by 5. Still a long way to go on this one. Janicki pull-up jumper goes. Well, Janicki heating up here in the second half. He has 8. 6 of them coming in the first 4 minutes of the second half. It's a 3-point game. 42-39. Sam Chicken-Jansky gets it off to Max. Max with the off-balance jumper. No. Rebound Raheem. In transition, here's Janicki driving to the hoop and the foul. Jack Janicki heating up big time in the second half. He's got 10-8 in the first 4:09 of the second half. Foul was on number 21, Nick Kane. That's his first. Janicki with a chance to tie the game. Janicki hits to tie the game. He has 11. As he surges into a tie with Raheem for the Bears team lead in the game. Tompkins, guarded by Raheem, spins along the perimeter, gets it off to Max Chicken-Jansky as Tompkins now trying to drive. He's guarded by Steiner. The three off the mark from Kane, and out of bounds off of Chicken-Jansky. 42-42, 13:32 left in regulation. Bears outscoring the Ponies 13-4 in the early stages of the second half as Raheem will inbound. Gets it into Mizgin. Mizgin will slow things down as he crosses the timeline. Mizgin getting the screen from Steiner, gets it to Raheem. Bruin back to Raheem. Mizgin guarded by Gustafson. Thought about driving his way in, kicks it back over to Bruin. Bruin stripped to the ball, and Gustafson able to come up with it as he outlets to Tompkins. Tompkins on the back door getting the layup from Kane, and the Ponies back in front, 44-42. As Janicki quickly at the other end for 3, no off the mark, and a foul on Janicki as Chicken-Jansky came away with the rebound. Tompkins now with 11. Second foul on Janicki. Max Chicken-Jansky in the front court with Kane, guarded by Janicki. Sam Chicken-Jansky, guarded by Steiner. Tompkins forced to kick it back out. Chicken-Jansky fouled on the drive. That might be the third on Janicki. Certainly not what the Bears can afford right now. That will be. Lockwood already on the bench with 4. And Chicken-Jansky will shoot a pair as he hits the first. Janicki will check out for Brock Togner. Chicken-Jansky hits both. He has 22. 12 and a half minutes to go in regulation. Stillwater 46, White Bear Lake 42. Raheem. He's guarded by Shikanjansky. Gives off for Brune. Brune looking for Mizgin. Mizgin taking it on the drop pass. Mizgin over to Raheem at the top of the circle. Raheem driving the lane. Nice move, but can't finish. Raheem went to the windmill move, but he couldn't get the finish on the layup. Stillwater will inbound to Shikanjansky with 12 minutes to play in regulation. 4-point game at 46-42. Gustafson working around the perimeter, guarded by Mizgin. Kane back to Shikanjansky. Shikanjansky gets the down low to Sam Shikanjansky. Layup, no. Rebound, Mizgin. Mizgin quickly into the front court with it. Pass out of reach, trying to get it into the corner for Togner, and that'll be a turnover. 11:32 left to play, as Tyler Tompkins will be back into the game for the Ponies after a brief rest. White Bear Lake 1-7 when trailing at the half this season. They were trailed by 9 starting the second half. We've gotten the deficit to 3 as Shikanjansky will take the 3 and drains it. Shikanjansky now with 25. It's a 7-point game at 49-42. Mizgin into the front court, gives off for Raheem. Steiner and Raheem trying to set something up. Brune over to Togner. Togner sets up Raheem. Raheem will take the long 3, and it's off the mark, and the rebound comes out into the front court for Swanson. Doesn't get it, but the foul. Second on Mizgin. 4th team foul for the Bears here in the second half. The first free throw good for Swanson. Lockwood and Janicki back into the game. Lockwood with the 4 fouls, Janicki with 3. Swanson off the mark on the second one. Swanson with 1 point in the game. Raheem comes away with the rebound. Raheem from the free throw line drops it down to Steiner for the finish. Max Steiner with 4. Max Shikanjansky, who I don't believe has taken any kind of breather in this game except for halftime. Drive the baseline for Kane. It's not there. He's able to get his own rebound off the backboard. Loose ball comes back to Tompkins. He's able to recover. Tompkins guarded by Lockwood. Back to Shikanjansky. He tries to drive the lane. Awkward roll goes down. That's when things are going well for you on the shooting night. They're really going well with Shikanjansky now with 27. It's a 52-44 game. Togner at the top of the circle, gives off to Raheem on the far side perimeter. Raheem trying to drive the baseline. Offensive foul on Raheem. Call for the charge on Kane. That'll be the first on Raheem. Fifth team foul on the Bears here in the second half with 9:40 to play in regulation. It's an 8-point lead for Stillwater. Inbound to Shikanjansky, guarded by Raheem in the backcourt. He works his way into the front court, spins at the free throw line, drops it back out on the perimeter. Swanson, guarded by Lockwood, gives off for Sam Shikanjansky. Max back with it as he's guarded by Togner. Back to Sam at the top of the key, then Max back with it. Approach the midpoint of the second half as Shikanjansky makes the move, drops it down low to Sam. Shikanjansky gets it and the foul. And that's the 5th on Lockwood, so Lockwood's night will come to an end midway through the second half as he fouls out with 3 points. As Chicken-Jansky unable to convert on the and one, rebound for Togner. Togner sets up Raheem into the front court, guarded by Max Chicken-Jansky. Mizgin trying to drive, forced to kick it back out. Short-range jumper no good for Togner. Rebound went to Kane as Max Chicken-Jansky back into the front court as he drives, can't get the layup to go. And the rebound for Forsyth. Janicki in the front court, trying to work his way around Tompkins, drops it back to Raheem. Raheem sizing things up at the top of the key. He drops back out with Kane watching him. Lob pass in for Janicki. Janicki then sends it cross court for Mizgin for 3 off the back iron. But the ball then kicks off of Swanson. Bears able to take it right back. The 3 from Raheem is also off the mark. Janicki there for another offensive rebound and a whistle. 54-44, the Ponies leading it. Foul will go on Tyler Tompkins of Stillwater. That's his first. Lob pass into Raheem on the far side. Leaves off for Mizgin. Raheem trying to set the screen. Forsyth cycles it back over. Janicki trying to drive. Fade away, Jay good. 13 for Jack Janicki. That leads the Bears. 54-46 Ponies. Come down to 7.5 minutes to play. Swanson on the drive, forced back out by Forsyth. Tompkins at the top of the key, leaves off for Sam Chicken-Jansky, dropping it down low for Tompkins. Thompson forced to kick it back out for 3 from Kane, and he drains it. Nicholas Kane with 8, the big 3 there to make it a 9-point game once again at 57-46. Excuse me, 11-point game. Getting it down low for Forsyth, and it's knocked away, taken away by Chicken-Jansky. Leaves it off for Tompkins, trying to drive. The little layup isn't there, but an offensive rebound, and then another 3 for Kane. Off the side iron, no good. Rebound Janicki with 6:45 left in the second half. Long 3, Janicki, that's off the back rim, no, and the rebound for Max Chicken-Jansky. Chicken-Jansky will take the 3 straight away. That rims off. Rebound Forsyth. Quickly ahead for Raheem. Was knocked out of bounds by Max Chicken-Jansky. Timeout will be taken by Stillwater with 6:23 to play in regulation. It's an 11-point lead for the Ponies at 57-46. Max Chicken-Jansky with 27. Jack Janicki leads the Bears with 13. Second half going a little bit in opposite directions for those two, as Chicken-Jansky was all over the score sheet in the first half, and Janicki was quiet. Second half, it's seen Janicki scoring 11 of his 13. Chicken-Jansky a comparatively quiet second half on the score sheet thus far. 6:23 to play in regulation. Lockwood has fouled out for the Bears. Janicki has 3. There are no other players with more than 2. Andrew Gustafson will check back into the game for the Ponies, coming out of the timeout with 6:23 left. Mizgin will inbound coming out of the timeout. Chicken-Jansky, you see, averaging nearly 23 points a game, just a sophomore. Raheem on the near side perimeter. Back out to Forsyth. Forsyth leads for Janicki. Trying to set up the screen. Getting it down low for Togner, and he's unable to finish. Chicken-Jansky comes away with the rebound. We're under 6 minutes to play in regulation. Gustafson gives off for Max Chicken-Jansky. He's guarded by Forsyth. Nice move by Max Chicken-Jansky and rejected by Brune. And back into the front court is Janicki with the easy finish. It's all set up by that Brune block on Chicken-Jansky. 15 for Jack Janicki, 57-48. Stillwater leading it. We're under 5.5 minutes to play. Chicken-Jansky on the drive is fouled. That'll be the second on Forsyth. 7th team foul for White Bear Lake here in the second half. First off the back rim, no good. Second one does go down for Chicken-Jansky, who has 28 in the game. Raheem in the front court with it. Gives off for Forsyth. Janicki able to secure the awkward pass. Janicki over to Brune. Raheem guarded by Tompkins. Raheem looking to get it down low. Janicki with the pull-up jumper, yes. 17 for Janicki. And 15 of those coming in the second half. It's an 8-point game with under 4:45 to play. Max Chicken-Jansky kicks it out to the corner for 3, and that's off the mark. Tompkins there to find the offensive rebound, too strong. Rebound Raheem. Janicki quickly into the front court. Drops it off for Mizgin. Mizgin hands off to Janicki. Janicki sizing up Tompkins. Janicki with the pull-up 3, that's off the mark. Rebound Gustafson. In transition, here's Chicken-Jansky, layup no. Rebound for Mizgin. Mizgin into the front court, drops it down to Raheem for the easy layup. 13 for Raheem. The 6-point game with under 4 minutes to play. 58-52 Stillwater. Chicken-Jansky straight away 3, buries it. 30 for Max Chicken-Jansky. That's a huge 3 for the Ponies, and that puts them back up by 9 as we come to 3.5 minutes to play. Mizgin trying to drive, getting it down low for Forsyth, who finishes. 4 for Will Forsyth. Timeout taken by White Bear Lake with 3:26 to play. 61-54 in favor of the Ponies. Chicken-Jansky with 30 for Stillwater. Janicki leading the way with 17. Kanye Raheem with 13. Jack Mizgin with 9 for the Bears. And Stillwater secondary scoring Tyler Tompkins with 11 and Nick Kane with 8. Thanks so much for joining us on this unseasonably warm Monday night from White Bear Lake High School. To approach the end of the regular season. The head coaches Keith Lockwood and Brady Hannigan. Bears trailing by 7 with 3:26 to play. To summarize the foul situations, Alex Lockwood has fouled out for White Bear Lake. Jack Janicki has 3. All other players with 2 or fewer, still with 3:26 left. Kane will inbound with Brune guarding. Kane gets it into Sam Shikanjansky, ahead to Tompkins. Tompkins gets it to Max Shikanjansky in the front court. Now he's guarded patiently by Janicki. Janicki nearly generating another steal. Stay with the Ponies. Bears will close with games against Forest Lake and at Woodbury at the quick inbound into Shikanjansky in the backcourt. He lobs it ahead for Gustafson. Gustafson guarded by Raheem. Raheem tried to take the ball away. Tompkins. Sam Shikanjansky guarded by Steiner. Bounce pass into Tompkins where to finish. 13 for Tyler Tompkins. It's a 9-point game once again at 63-54. 2:40 left to play in regulation. Mizgin dropping it back to Steiner. Mizgin will take the three from the far side, and that rims around and off. Rebound for Sam Shikanjansky, who leads it off for Max. Tick down under 2.5 minutes to play. Ponies 63, the Bears 54. Tompkins guarded by Raheem. Hard pass over to Gustafson. Gustafson nearly had it stolen by Mizgin. He did as Janicki into the front court. Doesn't get it, but fouled from behind by Gustafson. That'll be the third on Andrew Gustafson. And Janicki will go to the line to shoot a pair. Gustafson nearly coming up with the nice block, but officials say he did get the hand. First one off the mark for Janicki. Janicki gets the second. He has 18. It's a 8-point game, 63-55. With 2 minutes left in regulation. Shikanjansky quickly into the front court, getting tied up and then calling a timeout. Shikanjansky leading all scorers with 30. Jack Janicki with 18 for the Bears. Kanye Raheem with 13. We looked ahead a little bit on the White Bear Lake schedule briefly. They'll take on Forest Lake here at the high school, and then at Woodbury to close out the season. Section quarterfinal, first schedule for March 18th, against an opponent to be determined. We stay with the SCC for updates. We'll let you know who and when they'll be playing. Stillwater will close out the season against Irondale and then at Mounds View. And then their section quarterfinal game also on March 18th. .157 to play in regulation here at White Bear Lake High School. The Ponies of Stillwater leading the Bears 63-55. Bears have 17 fouls in the second half, so the Ponies in the bonus. 4-4 Stillwater. They have a few fouls to give. I'm sure they're hoping they won't have to use them. It's Tompkins with Mizgin and Janicki trying to get him tied up. Janicki nearly generating the steal, but Shikanjansky able to recover the ball. Kane lobs it back over on the far side for Tompkins. And we will get a foul against White Bear Lake. I believe that'll be Mizgin. Likely be Steiner. That'll be the second on Steiner. Swanson will shoot a 1-and-1. He gets the first. That'll make it a 9-point game with 1:32 to go. Gets the second to make it a 10-point game with 1:32 left. Gustafson back into the game. Raheem works it into the front court. Down to a minute and a half left to play. It's a 10-point lead for the Ponies. Shikanjansky able to generate a steal and then a foul. A timeout, after the steal. So the Ponies will have possession following the timeout with 1:25 to play. It's a 10-point Stillwater lead at 65-55. We're going to take a look at how the matchups would shape up in the 4A, 4 quadruple A if the season ended today. White Bear Lake would make a trip to North St. Paul to take on Tartan. And you see Stillwater and that number 8 seed would head down to Woodbury to take on the Royals in the 1-8 game. East Ridge and St. Paul Central and Cretin-Durham, North St. Paul rounding out the bottom half of the bracket. .125 to play in regulation. With Stillwater leading by 10. Make sure to follow us on all our social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, all /SCC TV, except on Twitter, where it's /SCC TV Sports. Quick inbound to Shikanjansky. He's hounded and fouled by Misgan. He'll go to the line to shoot a 1-and-1. The third on Misgan. He hits the first. Second off the mark, but Shikanjansky hits 1 of 2. He has 31 in the game. It's an 11-point game. Janicki quickly trying to drive the baseline. Hounded, he's forced to kick it out to Misgan for the off-balance 3. Didn't get it to go. Stillwater comes away with the rebound. Shikanjansky carries it back into the front court with 1 minute left to play in regulation. It's an 11-point game. And a foul on Bruin for White Bear Lake. And that puts the Ponies into the double bonus. Tompkins will shoot a pair. First one off the front iron. Jack Janicki with a fantastic second half for the Bears. Just 2 in the first half, but he's come up big here in the second with 13. 16 in the second half. The second one off the mark as well for Shikanjansky. Janicki with the rebound, carries into the front court. He's guarded by Tompkins, able to recover as Tompkins is able to punch the ball out. Misgan for 3, that's off the mark. It's Riley McRae in the game for the first time for the Bears. Stillwater will inbound with 47.3 to go. Kane, it over to Sam Shikanjansky. Tompkins into the front court for Max. Max guarded nicely, then drives past Raheem, gets the finish and the foul. Shikanjansky will head to the line to complete the 3-point play. That'll be the second on Raheem. It's 68-55 with 34.7 left to play. Shikanjansky finishes the 3-point play. He now has 34. Raheem off the inbound from Misgan. Works into the front court, gets it to Janicki. Janicki guarded by Tompkins. He'll take the long 3. That's off the mark. Rebound for Sam Shikanjansky. He'll leave off for Max as Max will slowly work it toward the timeline with 16 seconds left to play. Drives into the front court as the Ponies will just run the final 10 seconds off the clock Max Janski scores 34 for the Ponies to lead all scorers. And the Ponies defeat White Bear Lake for the second time this season by a final score of 69-55. Jack Janicki with 18 for the Bears, Kanye Rahim with 13. Final score, Stillwater 69, White Bear Lake 55. Bears will have one more home game against Forest Lake. That'll be 2 days from now here at the White Bear Lake South campus. Then they will close out the regular season at Woodbury before they find out who they'll play in their section quarterfinal. Upcoming broadcasts here on SCC Sports. Stay tuned, of course, for more information about particular matchups and changes in the schedule. Matamidi South St. Paul, that's coming up on Thursday. Girls hockey Section 4A quarterfinals action on March 15th. And the boys Section 4 quadruple A quarterfinals later on this month. So on behalf of David Schuyler and all of our crew back in the truck, scattered around the arena, all of our wonderful technicians and cameramen, thank you so much for joining us tonight. From White Bear Lake High School, I'm Patrick Willie. Always pleased to be part of such an amazing crew here at SCC Sports. The final score one more time, Stillwater 69, White Bear Lake 55. We will catch you soon from an arena near you.